Commander Collection Black releases January 28th, and prices have come down from a high of $150 and slowly trickled down all the way and settled now at about $70 to $80. $150 is obviously really high for the regular. The foil version is about $160 now, but the question is, at about $75 and $160 for the foil version, are these worth buying? The Commander Collection Black product is pretty simple. It's just 8 reprints of Commander staples that are all black with new art. We're going to give this a full review, look at the value of the cards, whether it's regular or foil, look at the art, and then we're going to decide if this product is right for you. But before we dive in, if you have not yet joined the Wolf Pack, make sure to do so right now by hitting subscribe. First up is Ghoulcaller Gisa, which is a nice $11 card for the regular version, and for the foil version, there actually is no foil currently existent because it was printed in Commander 14 and Jumpstart. So this will be the first foil printing of Ghoulcaller Gisa. The art is absolutely fantastic, that gleeful, sinister smile she has. You can see her shovel in the background. She just dug up this headless corpse. Really cool. Ophiomancer, a $15, $17 card for the regular version, and again, no foil currently available as it was printed in Commander 13, so this is the first foil printing that's going to be available. The art is absolutely wonderful with all the snakes admiring her. She's like in some cool fortress with the light shining down from up above. Really, really cool looking. Phyrexian Arena, solid card draw enchantment, always has been, always will be. It's in the $16 to $20 range for a regular version, and a foil version are pretty expensive. It's $50 because they are printed in Conspiracy, 8th edition, 9th edition, before foils were really easy to find. And if you want to go all the way back to Apocalypse, that foil is going to set you back a good $350. The art here is pretty solid. It's not my absolute favorite, but it is cool with the gladiatorial combat. You can see all the little people in the background, the machine going at it with a human in the arena with the huge overlord statue, Colossus going on. It is pretty freaking sweet, actually. I take it back. I like it a lot. Reanimate, the solid 1 mana, bring it back from the graveyard spell. It is absolute powerhouse, and it's a good $12 card for regular version. Foil, you've got a $40 FNM version, a $55 Ultimate Masters box topper version, so a couple of more expensive options here. And this is really something special. I mean, for me, I'm a sucker for old art. Like, you look at Tempest, just that classic, simple art of the original Reanimate, and I always love that type of stuff. But looking again at this new version, this is something else. I mean, for someone who's really, really biased towards these old printings of cards, I still like this one so much better. Just grabbing her neck, floating up, I mean, rising above the ground, the bats and the skulls in the background, like in the clouds or the smoke. This is just a really, really special piece of art, something I really like. It's definitely my favorite piece of art from this entire collection. Toxic Deluge, the absolute powerhouse sweeper, only 3 mana, plus it gets around things like Indestructible. It's a $22 card. Foil version's only $25, just a couple dollars more. Or if you want to get the borderless version from Double Masters, it's $35. I do like all the green in the art. It is really sinister with what's coming down from the heavens above and just the absolute rain of destruction. The flavor text is a lot of fun. Yawgmoth is really full of himself. I am greater than the rain and nourishment. I am glistening in oil and perfection. That's what I tell myself when I look in the mirror in the morning. Soul Ring, of course, has been reprinted a million times. It will continue to be so it's always going to be a $1 to $2 card for your cheapest versions. But if you start looking at other versions, you can get a $30 Secret Lair version. You can get the Magic Fest version for $7. The Commander Collection Green, which is obviously a really good comparison since it's a similar product, is $9. And then when you're looking at foils, you have a From the Vault Relics at $25. Again, $30 for the Secret Lair foils, $18 for the Magic Fest foil, and $27 for the Commander Collection Green foil. When it comes to the art of this bad boy, wow. This is absolutely by far my favorite Soul Ring art. It is so epic with those skulls and the candles, and I really, really like how just sinister and dark this thing is. It is metal to the max. Command Tower, really a 25-50 cent card. Nothing too special here. It's all about the fancy art and having something different to add to your collection, pimp out your deck. You have other fancy versions. There's like an $8 Commander Legends Extended. The Commander Collection Green is $4. And then when you look at foils, again, Commander Legends Extended, $25, $20 for the Commander Collection Green, and then $50 for the Commander's Arsenal ones. They can get up there for the foil for fancy versions. And the art here is really cool. The lightning in the background, the big storm, I like it. Liliana, Heretical Healer, going back to Magic Origins, where you have these legendary creatures that then receive their spark and become their planeswalkers. This is a nice $16 reprint, or for a foil version, it's going to be $30. Looking at the art of this card, I really like how there's so much action going on. You can feel and see the action with smoke being swirled around, her dress blowing around, that purple essence coming down from above or coming from within. I'm not exactly sure, but it's really special. I like this card a lot. On the flip side, once she becomes a Planeswalker, Liliana Defiant Necromancer, wow, is this thing epic. Just the dark background. You can see a little bit of a shadow of a building in the back right. It looks like there's going to be a tombstone in the bottom left. Crows, just that evil omen. And then the skull, which when I first saw this, I was like, oh, is this like the skull of her brother or something? Because she was trying to save her brother, right? And then she poisoned him and he killed him. And then I saw the horns coming from this. With oh, is this the skull of one of the demons from her contract when she became a Planeswalker? The details of the story right there, I'm a little fuzzy on. So if you know whose skull that is, put it in the comments below. I'm really interested. An overall rating for the art on these cards is absolutely 5 Raphaels. These things are just special. They're so epic. They put a lot of energy and effort into these. This doesn't feel like some cheap secret lair that they're just pumping out on the weekly basis. I mean, this is something that they put a lot of effort and energy into, and I really appreciate that. Also, from a metal perspective, 5 Ozzy Osbournes, man. The art on these things are just epic. From a value perspective, I know we covered a lot of different numbers, but if you add them all up, grabbing the absolute cheapest versions of these cards, so if you just say, I want these 8 cards in my collection, that's gonna go out and it's gonna cost you $83. So if you're finding this thing at $70, it's still really a good price. And at $80, it's a decent price because you're getting all that special art. If you take all the values of those cards and instead of the absolute cheapest versions, you replace some of them with the Commander Collection green versions, like for the Command Tower and Sol Ring, which really are fair comparisons. They're a very similar product. It's the same product, just a different color. You're looking at $98 total worth of cards. So again, if you were to go buy all the versions of these cards and buy the Commander Collection green versions where applicable, it's going to cost you $98. So that's a pretty good comparison. If you can find this thing for $70 or even $80, but you're getting $100 worth of cards, that's an absolute 5 on the value scale. If you're getting this one for $70, you're getting another $30 worth of cards. That is solid value, 5 Toyota Corollas. Now, what about those of you who really like to get fancy and are looking at the premium version or the foil version of this product, which is around $160? If you were to go buy all these cards right now at foil, it'd cost you just under $200, about $192. But there's some caveats to that number which get really interesting. First of all, the number is pushed higher because Phyrexian Arena, again, only has some really rare foil, so that is a big jump in that number. Also pushing that number a little bit higher is the Commander Collection green versions. We're using those prices for the Sol Ring and the Command Tower because, again, I do feel that is the most fair comparison. But something that is not represented in that $192 number are 2 cards of Gisa and Ophiomancer, because those cards, again, are not available in foil. So for $192, you can go get the foil versions of 6 of those cards, but that still leaves you without the other 2 cards that are in this product. So really, I think that number is a little bit low. You're getting the foil versions of these cards, you're getting the premium art on some of the Commander staples like the Command Tower and the Sol Ring, but then also you're getting the other 2 cards that are not available in foil. These could easily be maybe $200, $250 when all is said and done in order to get these cards in the secondary market. So snagging this thing up as a whole product all at once for $160, solid value, 5 Toyota Corollas. When all is said and done, I think this is a really good purchase. I think there's just a really good value here, and what's important to note is that you might not want all 8 of these cards, but there's really good trade equity here because they're all expensive cards. Sometimes when you fill your binder up with $2, $3, $4 trade cards, they really just sit there forever because it's kind of more complicated to find someone who wants to trade those cards, and you need to find a $2 card that you want, and they can really sit there. But when you have $10 plus cards, which all of these are, they're all above that $10 mark, that makes it really easy to trade these cards in the future. It makes it really easy to say, hey, you got a Windswept Teeth that I need? Sweet, I have 2 different, $10 to $15 cards, we can make this trade happen, boom, it's done. Bottom line is that with the absolutely epic art and the solid value packed into this product, it's a really good purchase.